news at 3. National Security Advisor urges Labour to rescind strike. Probes attack on NLC president. Blackout looms as Nigerian electricity workers join Labour unions strike. Plus, Central Bank of Nigeria extends validity of old Naira notes indefinitely. A very good afternoon. Welcome to Rstv News at 3. I'm Akilachi Keje. Do you love and care about Rivers State and her peace? If yes, let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task we must all accomplish. And now the news in detail. Management of Rivers State University in Polu Oroworoku, Port Harcourt has expressed willingness to partner the Nigerian Law School towards the advancement of legal education in Nigeria. Vice-Chancellor of the university, Professor Nleru Okogbule, gave the assurance when he received a delegation led by the Deputy Director General and Head Port Harcourt Campus Nigeria Law School, Chinonso Uzodimma. Obiandru Madume completes the story.
Professor Okogbule stressed that the law program in the university is highly sought for in terms of admission and that the program has experienced professors and lecturers who can contribute positively to the Nigerian Law School in areas of workshops and trainings. The Vice-Chancellor used the forum to appeal to the Council of Legal Education to increase the university quota of candidates seeking admission into the law school from 250 to 300, stating that the university has the required facilities and manpower to cope with. He noted that the siting of the Nigerian Law School in Port Harcourt has further given a boost to the law programs in the university.
So I want to appreciate you for coming and to say that as a university, we are already willing to partner with the Nigerian Law School, particularly the Port Harcourt campus of law school, to ensure have a conducive environment to carry out their activities in synergy with the university. It's even more important because we have the faculty of law here in this university. Faculty of law that is also doing very, very well. And it's making us proud.
In his remarks, the Deputy Director General, Head Port Harcourt Campus, Nigerian Law School, Chinonso Uzodimma, thanked the government and people of Rivers State for donating the Port Harcourt campus of the Nigerian Law School. He promised that the Nigerian Law School, as a reputable institution, will give back to the state through its corporate social responsibility.
There should be a kind of CSR, corporate social responsibility. We must give back to a group of people who donated their land, used their money to build structures, and invited us and said, come and occupy. We must evolve some kinds of corporate social responsibility that we will also make available to your institution, especially as we are very people, so we have no reason not to do so. So it's just to visit and to express ourselves, and also explain the reason why we hadn't made this visit earlier on.
High point of the visit was the donation of 20 copies of a book titled Civil Procedure Illustrated, authored by the Deputy Director General and Head Port Harcourt Campus of the Nigerian Law School. The visit was attended by the Deputy Vice-Chancellors and other principal officers of the university. Obiandru Madume, Rstv News.
World Diabetes Day is a day set aside to highlight the increasing prevalence of diabetes, its impact, and educate people on its preventions. Nnamdi Olimine reports that the theme for the 2023 event is access to diabetes care.
Medical experts describe diabetes as a disorder or medical condition in which the body fails to process and utilize the glucose which is produced from the food consumed. Inefficient assimilation of glucose, which is the leading source of energy in the body, can hamper day-to-day activity, while unmanaged diabetes can lead to fatal complications such as cardiovascular issues, nerve damage, kidney damage, skin infections, depression, erectile dysfunction, and dental problems. There are type 1, type 2, and gestational diabetes. Symptoms include frequent urination, excessive weight loss, and tiredness.
Diabetes is a disease that occurs on account of the derangement in the function of a critical organ in the body called the pancreas. And yet that is that organ that produces the chemical, that hormone called insulin, that regulates the product of carbohydrate metabolism in the body, which is glucose. That is the fuel the body needs to burn, to break down, to generate energy, to keep a man strong and active.
The theme for this year stresses the importance of having equal access to the right information and essential care to ensure timely treatment and management. It is estimated that 1 in every adult affected by diabetes remains undiagnosed, with majority of them suffering type 2 diabetes, which is preventable with appropriate lifestyle and healthy dietary habits. Some preventive tips to control diabetes include regular exercise for at least 30 minutes a day, avoidance of sugar and refined carbonated intakes, proper management of blood pressure, learning habit of consuming normal water, and quitting smoking, which promotes insulin resistance.
If your father had it, your mother, the chances of you having diabetes is there. Malnutrition can also cause diabetes. There are some drugs that can also cause diabetes. The pancreas, when the pancreas is now having pancreatitis, either chronic or acute pancreatitis, can also cause the problem.
Other measures are to practice eating of small portion of meal at one time, avoiding consumption of aerated drinks and other beverages with added sugar, and get updated with diabetes control preventive tips.
To treat diabetes or to control diabetes, I mentioned lifestyle things like how you eat, exercise. So that's why we say that fasting blood sugar should be done in the morning.
Health insurance is still sleeping. Health insurance is not effective. Health insurance has not come to the rescue of Nigerians. So a lot of diabetics in the community who do not have the money to go to the hospital are dying silently.
And so, to curb the increasing risk of developing diabetes, mainly type 2 diabetes among adolescents and adults, World Diabetes Day provides the global platform for the advocacy and prevention of the silent killer disease. Nnamdi Olimini, Rstv News.
Paramount ruler of Njuru community in Eleme local government area, His Royal Highness Emere Wokolu Dimpa Nte, has urged parents and guardians to invest in the education of their children and wards to prepare them to lead responsible lives in the society. Chief Dimpa Nte made the call at the reunion class of 1994 of the Comprehensive High School Alessa Eleme, where the old students honored him as one of their former teachers. Tamno Barbie Ibulubo completes the report.
The reunion ceremony is the first of its kind that the Class 94 old students of Comprehensive High School organized to celebrate the milestone they have made 29 years after they graduated from the school. They used the occasion to rekindle old memories of friendship that they had shared while inducting some of their former teachers and fellow alumni into the Hall of Fame, plus other forms of awards, while also giving back to their alma mater. The paramount ruler of Njuru community in Eleme local government area is Royal Highness Emere Nwokolo Dimpa Nte, who was accorded special honor, was also given Life Mentor Award for the role he played in their education as an economics and commerce teacher, while also propelling human capital development in the society.
Every father should give his children proper education and make sure your children have the fear of God. Once you direct them towards these two lines, you have achieved it. Today I'm a happy father because by the grace of God, I've done what I should do as a man. I've been able to give proper education to my children and I pursue them to follow the word of God. In fact, I just thank God for a day like this. I'm very, very happy that these children are doing well.
President of the Class 94 Old Students of Comprehensive High School, Alessa Eleme, Sensel Soseema Osaro, said they did not just organize the reunion to celebrate themselves as pathfinders and the successes they have made in their various endeavors, but also honored their former teachers.
29 years ago, we left Comprehensive High School at Lisa Eleme. Class 94 decided to have a reunion where all of us will converge, interface with those who taught us, and then appreciate them. His Royal Highness Chief Honorable Dr. Dimpa Mokolunte JP is one of our renowned teachers back in secondary school. You know, he is a man of great influence. He molded us. You can see that apart from teaching us, he has also aspired and strived to a greater height of influence. A height where we look onto and say, yes, this is our teacher. And so we appreciate him. He taught us, he molded us, he refined us, and today we just want to say thank you to him. And this will also tag celebrating the making of Pathfinders.
The Class 94O students also announced their contributions to the alma mater to strengthen its sporting training capability for the students. Tamuno Barabi Iblubo, Rstv News.
President Bola Tinubu is committed to improving the lives of vulnerable Nigerians in the country. Vice President Kashim Shettima stated this at the Presidential Villa in Abuja while receiving a comprehensive report from the Presidential Committee on Flood Mitigation, Adaptation, Preparedness and Response. At the formal presentation of the committee's report, the Vice President gave a definite position to speculations about the reality of the impact of climate change in Nigeria, describing the report as a testament to President Tinubu's commitment to the Renewed Hope agenda. The Vice President stated that the present administration is focused on improving the socio-economic conditions of Nigeria's most vulnerable communities. The Vice President noted that in drafting the report, the committee was guided by science and forecasts from agencies such as the Nigerian Meteorological Agency (NIMET), the National Space Research and Development Agency (NASDA), and the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency (NIHSA). According to him, the report identifies vulnerable communities prone to flooding and presents a roadmap with recommendations to address the issue. He also directed the committee to present the report to the National Economic Council (NEC) for further deliberations and possible ascension by the Council. Senate has threatened to complete privatization of the Nigerian Postal Service, NIPOST, if the agency continues operating at a loss. Chairman, Joint Committee on Finance, Senator Sani Musa issued the warning during the continuation of the 2024-2026 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework public hearing in Abuja. Quizzing the Postmaster General of the Federation, PMG, Omotola Odeyemi, the chairman berated the lack of functionality of NIPOST offices across the country and the abysmal revenue generation, particularly from stamp duties. The committee directed the PMG to provide the names of all staff of the organization, allocation and salary to the committee for further investigation by the upper chamber. It also gave NIPOST 2 years to establish a plan on how to revamp the service and change the business model to achieve self-sustenance rather than operating at a loss. Otherwise, it will enact legislation to ensure total privatization. Do you love and care about Rev State and her peace? If yes, let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task we must all accomplish. Now time for a short break on the news at 3, but up ahead, Democratic Republic of Congo President defends record in State of the Nation address ahead of elections. And in sports, Napoli's sack coach Rudy Garcia, Mazari returns. More details when we return.
I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. I'ma keep winning till the keep up with me. Come on, let's go. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. Independent women, come on, now let's get it. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. Africa, you feel me? Come on, now let's get it.
New styles from Darling. Find your beautiful.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
You're welcome back. It's still Rstv News at 3. And now to the rest of our reports. With the nationwide industrial action declared by the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress (TUC) entering the second day, the organized labor has said that no court order was received from the federal government or any of its parties not to proceed with the strike, which commenced yesterday. TUC President Festus Osifo, who spoke today, knocked the government for perpetually violating court orders while expecting other institutions to obey the judiciary. Osifo further said once the unions receive a court order on the ongoing strike, they would liaise with the lawyers and take a decision. The labor leaders scolded the government for always rushing to court to obtain restraining orders to stop labor's action instead of engaging the unions and addressing their grievances, noting that obtaining court orders is not good labor relations on the part of the government. The presidency and the office of the Attorney General of the Federation had berated labor for embarking on the indefinite action, despite a restraining order by Justice Benedict Backwash Kanip of the National Industrial Court, saying labor must respect court orders. Meanwhile, Office of the National Security Advisor, ONSA, has pleaded with the leadership of organized labor to end the strike action and allow dialogue process underway to be exhausted. ONSA said it was concerned about nationwide strike by the leadership of the organized labor led by the NLC and TUC. According to ONSA Head Strategic Communication, Zakari Minjin Yawa, the ONSA is particularly worried about the implications of the strike action on the livelihood of ordinary Nigerians and its potential impact on economic security and other strategic national interests. Min Jiyawa said the National Security Advisor NSA, Nuhu Ribadu, intervened on the travails of the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC), Comrade Joseph Ajero, who was assaulted in Owerri, Imo State. The NSA regrets the incident and condemns it in its entirety, as it was against the rule of law and the principles of freedom of association and expression subscribed to by President Bola Tinubu and his administration, adding that the federal government will never condone such an act. National Union of Electricity Employees (NUEE) has directed its members to commence full mobilization to ensure compliance with the directive of the Nigerian labor unions to embark on a nationwide strike. The NUEE, in a notice signed by its acting general secretary, Dominic Igwe-Bike, urged its members to comply with the directive and stop work. The NUEE members' strike could throw the country into darkness, given the workers' critical roles in electricity distribution in the country. The Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress (TUC) declared the strike following the brutalization of the NLC president Joe Ajero in Imo State. In the notice, the NUEE urged its members to totally withdraw its services if the government refused to address the issues raised from the shortfall of the atrocious event in Imo State. And now the Nigerian Customs Service (NSC) has promised to ensure the implementation of the recommendations of the Senate over the abuse of firearms by its operatives. Comptroller of Customs Adewale Adeniyi stated this when he appeared before the Senate Committee on Customs, affirming that the agency will ramp up its revenue targets to essentially assist the federal government in addressing the yearly budget deficit. The lawmakers asked the Customs Comptroller General to begin the decongestion of all customs warehouses, particularly to dispense perishable items given to internally displaced persons across the country. The committee resolved to judiciously perform its oversight functions of Nigeria Customs to achieve its core mandate of tackling smuggling across the nation's borders. However, the upper chamber had adopted recommendations of its ad hoc committee, which included the redeployment of 2 controllers of customs. Federal government has instituted forex reforms and freeing forex previously used to defend the naira. Chief Executive Officer, Ministry of Finance, EB Incorporated, Dr. Armstrong Takang, who made this known at the unveiling of the 2023 Nigerian Banking Sector Report titled Getting Nigeria to Work Again in Lagos, said government had in the past lost so much forex trying to defend the naira. Defending ongoing reforms in the forex market, Takang who represented Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, said the implementation of the willing buyer, willing seller model has preserved forex for the economy. He also said that in its effort to unlock forex liquidity, the federal government is encouraging people with the genuine forex to bring them back home for investment in the domestic economy. China has beaten a global deadline, launching the world's first next-generation internet service, which is said to be more than 10 times faster than the existing major routes. Reports say the backbone network forms a principal data route between cities and can transmit data at 1.2 terabits per second between Beijing in the north, central China's Wuhan, and Guangzhou in the southern province of Guangdong. According to the data, the average download speed for sub-Saharan Africa is 12.11 megabytes per second. More than 30 million speed tests were performed, with 3 million distinct IP addresses tested. A 5 gigabyte movie will take an average of 1 hour and 29 minutes to download, according to Cable. The report said Rwanda, South Africa, and Burkina Faso were in the top half of the ranking for network speeds. The Central Bank of Nigeria has announced its intention to extend the validity of old 200, 500, and 1,000 naira notes indefinitely. This is as the Apex Bank declared its desire to extend the validity of old naira notes beyond any expiry date. The bank, which disclosed this in a statement signed by Director Corporate Affairs, Corporate Commissions, Isa Abdul Mumin, said the decision is in line with international best practices and to forestall a repeat of earlier experiences. According to the bank, it is working with the relevant authorities to vacate the subsisting court ruling on the same subject. This is the third statement the CBN has issued concerning naira notes in recent times. The Apex Bank has had to clear the air on the naira following a March ruling by the Supreme Court that asked the CBN to allow old 200, 500 and 1,000 naira notes to continue as legal tender till December 31, 2023, after the bank announced a new naira design policy and expiration dates for the denominations. And now on the foreign scene, President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Felix Tshisekedi, has delivered a State of the Nation address.
The State of the Nation address.
During Felix Tshisekedi spoke before the members of the Parliament, two chambers meeting in Congress in Kinshasa.
Tshisekedi, who spent nearly 5 years in office, addressed the
Tshisekedi, who has spent nearly 5 years in office, also talked
against the backdrop of the barbaric aggression on our country perpetrated by Rwanda and its M23 terrorist supporters in the last 2 years. I salute your commitment.
In response to the ongoing fighting, several foreign forces are deployed in the DRC's east. The president, who seeks re-election,
the war and insecurity in the DRC's east means swaths of territory are not under the control of
the
the
government
state,
is offering
and that
its
could
cooperation to certain
voters.
international
But
forces
Tshisekedi backed
present
the
on our
decision to
territory
maintain the vote.
as part of
the
our
Constitutional
international
Court is due
commitments.
to unveil on November 18 the final list
In
of
the case of
candidates
some of these
allowed to
forces,
contest
the
in
mechanisms
December
for their
20
withdrawal
presidential
are
election.
being discussed.
The
This is the
UDPS
case for
party leader
MONUSCO
also
and
announced
the regional
targeted
force of the East
interventions on
African
commodity
community.
prices and monetary policies to stabilize the Congolese francs as Congolese grapple with high
are not
inflation
under the
and a
control of the
cost of
state.
living
That could
crisis. Britain's Supreme Court has ruled that the government's contentious plan to send some migrants on a one-way trip to Rwanda is illegal. Migrants striking a major blow to a key policy of Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's government that has drawn international attention and criticism. 5 justices on the country's top court ruled unanimously that asylum seekers sent to Rwanda would be at real risk of ill treatment because they could be returned to the home countries they had left. Sunak, who had pledged to stop migrants reaching Britain in small boats across the English Channel, said the ruling was not the outcome they wanted, as refugee and human rights groups welcomed the decision. Britain and Rwanda signed a deal in April 2022 to send some migrants who arrive in the UK as stowaways to the East African country where the asylum claims will be processed. Britain's government argued that Rwanda policy would deter people from risking their lives, crossing one of the world's busiest shipping lanes, and will break the business model of people smuggling gangs. Reading the unanimous decision, President of the Supreme Court, Robert Reed, said Rwanda could not be relied on to keep its promises not to mistreat asylum seekers sent from Britain. And now on entertainment, Big Brother Niger's star fraud bags honorary doctorate degree in business management. Anwar Jimoh has more on this and other entertainment stories.
Big Brother reality star Chukwuemeka Okoye, also known as Fraud, has been awarded with a honorary doctorate degree in business management. The excited father of one took to his Instagram handle to celebrate the new prize as he reintroduced himself as Dr. Chukwuemeka Velinas Okoye. Kourtney Kardashian coyly has confirmed she and Travis Barker welcomed their baby boy, gushing over the new daddy in a tribute to her husband on his 48th birthday. While the Kardashian star was due on Halloween or the first week of November. According to Travis, news broke on November 4th that Kourtney had given birth to their first baby together and the 7th child in their blended family. The Blink-182 musician previously confirmed their son's name is Rocky, sharing that the name reminds him of Rocky George, the guitar player for the band Suicidal Tendencies, along with the 1976 film Rocky. Over the years, Phil Keys has demonstrated himself as one of the most inventive producers around. He's made a high art of Afropop learning percussions, working with stars as varied as Kiss Daniel and Yemi Alade, among many others who've benefited from his magic touch. Like many creatives, however, Phil Keys remains in search of fuller ways to express his ideas, and on that note has released the video for Like I Do, a summary mid-tempo song which combines his production talent with his singing, a novelty the resultant record benefits from.
I do like I do, I do, who could love you like I do.
Taylor Swift has added 2 extra London shows to her record-breaking Eras tour after the first 6 nights sold out. The new date on 19 and 20th August means she will now play a total of 8 nights at Wembley Stadium next summer. That equals a record set by Take That, who played the venue for 8 nights on their 2011 Progress tour.
We're about to go on a little adventure together, and that adventure is going to span 17 years of music. How does that sound? Welcome to the acoustic set.
Anwar Jimoh, Rstv Entertainment News.
And that entertainment report brings us to the end of the News at 3 bulletin. Do you love and care about River State and her peace? If yes, let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task we must all accomplish. More news reports at 7:30 p.m. I am Akilachi Kiji. Good afternoon.